Alright, the first thing we're going to talk about are Void Gauntlet perks and abilities and how they play into PvP wars, OPR, open world, 5v5s, any type of PvP activity. My build, we have kind of dubbed the debuffer support build. So I am a tank support, heavy melee support character. My role in combat is to apply rend, remove healing buffs, just a little bit of everything, but not the best at anything. So the abilities that we're going to talk about are Petrifying Scream and Oblivion. These are just base abilities in the left tree of the Void Gauntlet. Petrifying Scream is a root. It's a frontal cone of about 30 degrees, 5 meter in front of you. 2-second root. If they're sub 50%, it is a 3-second root. And every enemy you hit up to 3 can give you 10% fortify per hit. So if you hit 3 people, you get 30% fortify. Oblivion is an ability that drops at your feet that does a little bit of damage, but it gives all of your allies inside of Oblivion 20% damage buff, 20% in power. On top of that, if you're attacking people inside there, you're reducing the amount of damage they do if you skill into it. And then you get stamina, so people can dodge roll around more, they can block more. It's a great ability. The most important thing with any build in New World is you have to have the perks to back it up. So Futurifying Scream, which is an ability, which is a perk that you can roll on weapons or armor, says on successful hit it inflicts disease and reducing the target's healing by, it goes up to 30% for 10 seconds. It's huge. Nullifying Oblivion. On activation, Oblivion removes limited duration buffs from enemies within its radius. That's anything that your character or somebody else can give you for a buff that's not like a food buff or a honing stone. It used to remove food buffs, it no longer removes food buffs. So Fortify, Beacon is a buff. Sacred Ground is a buff. Hatchet abilities like your Berserk, your Cheat Death, that can all be removed. So I'm going to skip ahead and go to some videos that I have pre-recorded to show you an example of this. So we're going to start with the Sacred Ground. So this is a simulated group duel with some people in my company to just show what it does. So they go ahead and put down Sacred before the duel starts, and I go and hit a few of them. Because they never left the Sacred Ground and went back into it, they had their buff from Sacred stripped and never received, they received 1 tick of heals and that was it. So you can see that they're remaining in Sacred after I placed the Oblivion on top of it and canceled it out. They get no healing whatsoever. Now if you go in it, go out and go back in, and you re-step in the Sacred, you'll re-get your buff. Basically just showing if they switch Sacreds, they'll get heals. You'll see them start to get healed up. The next thing that's important to know is Beacon. This is another group duel with some people in my company. Beacon is a buff that would be placed on a person, or you can put it on the ground. It doesn't matter. Once Beacon is out, if you drop Oblivion with the perk, with the Nullifying Oblivion perk on your weapon or armor, it completely negates Beacon, which is a 34 or 35 second base cooldown, and it's a huge radius. It's a lot of healing from a healer. So here you'll see, once they finish shooting me, beacon goes out. I do a little bit of damage to people, and I drop my Oblivion, with which I have the perk, and nobody receives healing from the beacon. Other direct heals, like if people are running single target heals, or if another beacon comes in after I've placed my Oblivion, that will again heal people, or if they drop a sacred afterwards. But that's where the Scream comes in, and you have a 30% healing debuff, which used to be 50. I'm just going to go ahead and damage everybody a little bit so you can see health bars. It goes down, and I just cancel it out immediately. Seal tries walking in and out to see if it resets it, and he does not get any healing from it whatsoever. He's only get regenerating from his earring or food buff. That is why a properly kitted Void Gauntlet user is far more important than somebody that just has a Void Gauntlet just to try it out. Like, you have to have the perks and use the perks properly to get the full benefit in war and PvP.